Let's do this. Alright, hey guys, so welcome to this video. Sorry if you came here. It's gonna get real cringy real soon. So this video today is gonna be about it's basically gonna be a reaction video. We're going to be doing a reaction video to a TED Talk called Inside the Mind of a Master Procrastinator by Tim Urban. So Tim Urban himself is a co-founder of Wait But Why. I guess he's kind of like, he's very familiar with procrastination, as we'll see. Okay, so let's get started. So first I just want to talk about like the TED Talk, I guess, intro. I learned this from an English class, like Paratext. So it's just kind of like the intro is just like what you expect from any other TED Talk, I guess. I think that depending on like what you're talking about, it changes the TED Talk. So I think that's pretty cool. All right.
So in college,
All right, there's the man himself.
which means I had to write a lot of papers. Now, when a normal student,
Okay, so just for starting off, you can tell that he is wearing pretty much regular clothing, casual clothing, something you'd wear out to like the park or something, which is kind of weird if like you're coming from different TED Talks. TikToks I usually listen to, people are usually dressed up in like a suit or something like that. So I guess this is kind of like a foreshadowing of like how the tone of the video, of the rest of the video is going to be. It's going to be more casual and probably more like not as, I guess, scientific in a way. So first he's talking about his government papers.
writes a paper, then I spread the work out a little like this. So, you know.
Okay, so here we want to talk about how he is using, like, I guess, images and things like that to help him like get his point across for his, I guess, points. So this is just like what your average workday should be.
You get started maybe a little slowly, but you get enough done in the first week that with some heavier days later on, everything gets done and things stay civil. And I would want to do that like that. That would be the plan. I would have it all ready to go, but then actually the people come along, and then I would kind of do this.
All right, so first off, I already want to talk about how Urban uses pathos and like I guess the first few seconds of the whole video. Seems like this is going to be really funny. It doesn't seem like it's going to be too serious. I like how he's using I guess humor to like get his point across, and how like he should be working in a timely pace, but he really isn't. And honestly, I relate to that a little bit. It really should, like, even now, this video isn't due in like 4 days, so it's kind of stressful.
And that would happen to every single paper.
Honestly, same.
But then came my 90-page senior thesis. Paper you're supposed to spend a year on.
That's such a long
And for a
time.
paper like that, my normal workflow was not an option. It was way too big a project. So I planned things out, and I decided it kind of had to go something like this. This is how the year would go. So I'd start off light.
Then again,
I'd bump it up in the middle months.
He's still using a lot of his images to get his point across, which is really nice, especially when you're presenting ideas, and it just helps your audience gain a little bit more idea of what you're trying to say and what you're trying to do.
And then at the end, I would kick it up into high gear. It's just like a little staircase. How hard can we just walk up the stairs? No big deal, right? But then, funniest thing happened. Those first few months, they came and went, and I couldn't quite do stuff. So we had an awesome new revised plan. And then...
So then again, he's still using more and more of these.
And I didn't really write words.
Of humor, I guess. It's just really humor.
And then 2 months turned into 1 month, which turned into 2 weeks. One day I woke up with 3 days until the deadline.
And what's great about this is that not only is he using humor to I guess engage the audience, but he's also putting humor within, I guess, the images that he uses while he's talking, which is really funny and really nice. Honestly, I just love the way he's presenting so far.
Still not having written a word, and so I did the only thing I could. I wrote 90 pages over 72 hours. Pulling not one, but 2 all-nighters. Humans are not supposed to pull 2 all-nighters. Sprinted across campus, dove in slow motion, and got it in just at the deadline. I thought that was the end of everything. But a week later, I get a call. It's the school. And they say, "Is this Tim Urban?" And I say, "Yeah." And they say, "We need to talk about your thesis." I say, "Okay." And they say, "It's the best one we've ever seen."
What? It doesn't add up.
That did not happen. It was a very, very bad thesis.
So going on again about how he's using pathos this almost entire time of this whole entire like video so far. I liked what he did there. It's just kind of like giving us the assumption like, wow, like maybe procrastinators aren't as bad as it seems. Like maybe if you do procrastinate, you'll be fine. But at the end, I guess he kind of like reinforced the idea that maybe like procrastinating on things that are like, especially a 90 page essay isn't quite one of the things you want to like, I guess, put aside to the last 2 days. I really thought that was really funny and really helped the audience like keep engaged.
I just wanted to enjoy that one moment when all of you thought this guy is amazing. No, it was very, very bad. Anyway, today I'm a writer, blogger, guy.
So I guess this is why his way of using ethos right now, he's trying to establish his credibility. He's kind of like telling us who he is, you know, why his opinion should matter. And I guess it should matter because he's not only a writer, but he's also a blogger.
I write the blog, wait, but why?
And there's his, I guess, his little, you know, promo, I guess you could say.
And a couple of years ago, I decided to write about procrastination. My behaviors always perplexed the non-procrastinators around me, and I wanted to explain to the non-procrastinators of the world what goes on in the heads of procrastinators and why we are the way we are. Now, I had a hypothesis that the brains of procrastinators were actually different than the brains of other people.
Okay, so maybe we're getting into more logos.
I found an MRI lab that actually let me scan both my brain and the brain of a proven non-procrastinator, so I could compare them, and I actually brought them here to show you today, and I want you to take a look carefully to see if you can notice a difference. And I know that if you're not a trained brain expert, it's not that obvious, but just take a look, okay? So here's the brain of a non-procrastinator.
So then again, here he's also continuing to use pathos to get, I guess, he wants his audience to believe what he's saying. So this, I guess, pathos is a really good way of using that, and the way he's using pathos with humor is really, really good right now. Like, it's even keeping me entertained, and I'm sure a lot of these people in here are also being entertained and creating like a great like I guess a great they're establishing a connection and making sure that he's knowing what he's talking about. Wow, that was really bad.
Now, here's my brain.
Continuing off with pathos, it seems like pathos is the main drive of this whole TED Talk.
Both brains have a rational decision maker in them, but the procrastinator's brain also has an instant gratification monkey.
And what I really like about these, I guess, the rational decision maker and the instant gratification monkey, is he kind of like gives our like behaviors within our brains kind of like figures, so we can kind of see what's going on, and like it's easier to like, I guess, remember or understand what he's talking about when we're talking about like behaviors and stuff like that.
Now, what does this mean for the procrastinator? Well, it means everything's fine until this happens. So the rational decision maker will make the rational decision to do something productive. The monkey doesn't like that plan. After that, we're going to go on a YouTube spiral that starts with videos of Richard Feynman talking about magnets and ends much, much later.
I love how like this little just monkey is just in the back just controlling the wheel. He's just kind of like going mayhem on it. He's just really not giving any like he really isn't caring about anything that's happening with this wheel. I love it so much.
With us watching interviews with Justin Bieber's mom. all of that's going to take a while, so we're not going to really have room on the schedule for any work today. Sorry. Now, what is going on here? The instant gratification monkey does not seem like a guy you want behind the wheel. He lives entirely in the present moment. He has no memory of the past, no knowledge of the future, and he only cares about two things: easy and fun. Now, in the animal world, that works fine. If you're a dog and you spend your whole life doing nothing other than easy and fun things, you're a huge success.
I was gonna say the same thing. It's like a golden retriever.
To the monkey, humans are just another animal species. He has to keep well slept, well fed, and propagating into the next generation. Which in tribal times might have worked okay. But if you haven't noticed, now we're not in tribal times. We're in an advanced civilization, and the monkey does not know what that is. Which is why we have another guy in our brain, the rational decision maker, who gives us the ability to do things no other animal can do. We can visualize the future. We can see the big picture. We can make long-term plans. And he wants to take all of that, have us do whatever makes sense to be doing right now. Now, sometimes it makes sense to be doing things that are easy and fun, like when you're having dinner or going to bed or enjoying well-earned leisure time. That's why there's an overlap. Sometimes they agree. But other times, it makes much more sense to be doing things that are harder and less pleasant for the sake of the big picture, and that's when we have a conflict. And for the procrastinator, that conflict tends to end a certain way every time, leaving him spending a lot of time in this orange zone.
Big yikes.
An easy and fun place that's entirely out of the makes sense circle. I call it the dark playground. Now, the dark playground is a place that all of you procrastinators out there know very well. It's where leisure activities happen at times when leisure activities are not supposed to be happening. The fun you have in the dark playground isn't actually fun because it's completely unearned.
I love these
and the air is
pictures so
filled with
much.
Guilt, dread, anxiety, self-hatred, all those good procrastinator feelings. And the question is, in this situation, with the monkey behind the wheel, how does the procrastinator ever get himself over here to this blue zone? A less pleasant place, but where really important things happen. Well, turns out that the procrastinator has a guardian angel, someone who's always looking down on him and watching over him in his darkest moments. Someone called the panic monster.
I just want to talk about like the panic monster's design. I think it's really clever and very funny at the same time. I like how it's just completely just a bunch of the squiggle, like just hard like lines basically all the way around. I feel like that's what I would imagine like a panic monster to like feel like. I feel like that just kind of like encaptures how like panic feels within like I guess humans. I think it's just really funny.
Now, the panic monster is dormant most of the time, but he suddenly wakes up. Anytime a deadline gets too close or there's danger of public embarrassment, a career disaster, or some other scary consequence. And importantly, he's the only thing that the monkey is terrified of. Now, he became very relevant in my life pretty recently because the people of TED reached out to me about 6 months ago and invited me to do a TED Talk.
And then I just want to kind of go off here. Like you can tell that his use of pathos is really paying off here. Almost everybody in this crowd is laughing. He's really establishing authority here. He's doing it really well. And pathos is one of like the best ways to, I guess, not one of the best ways, but a really good way if you use it right. Of course, if you're trying to establish authority and like have your, I guess, your audience believe your credibility.
Now, of course, I said yes. It's always been a dream of mine to have done a TED Talk in the past. But in the middle of all this excitement, the rational decision maker seemed to have something else in his mind. He was saying, "We clear on what we just accepted? Do we get what's going to be now happening one day in the future? We need to sit down and work on this right now."
I like how he gives examples of like, I guess, the behaviors within each behavior. Like the instant gratification monkey is just kind of like really playful and fun, and like the rational decision maker is there to do like big boy work.
2, and then 1. The people of TED decided to release the speakers, and I opened up the website, There was my face staring right back at me, and guess who woke up? So the panic monster starts losing his mind, and a few seconds later, the whole system's in mayhem. And the monkey, remember, he's terrified of the panic monster. Boom, he's up the tree. And finally, the rational decision maker can take the wheel, and I can start working on the talk. Now, the panic monster explains all.
As you can see, like in these past few clips, you can tell that like gestures are very important in how we speak in like our presentations and things like that. It's just interesting how to watch like everybody else's like different kind of gestures. Like even with myself, like as you watch this video and I watch this video, I say like how my gestures are kind of similar to his as well.
Kinds of pretty insane procrastinating behavior. Like
it seems most of his gestures are his hands usually.
Unable to start the opening sentence of a paper, and then miraculously find the unbelievable work ethic to stay up all night and write 8 pages. And this entire situation with the 3 characters, this is the procrastinator's system. It's not pretty, but in the end, it works. And this is what I decided to write about on the blog just a couple of years ago. Now, when I did, I was amazed by the response. Literally thousands of emails came in from all different kinds of people, from all over the world, doing all different kinds of things. These are people who are nurses and bankers and painters and engineers and lots of PhD students.
Jeez.
And they were all writing saying the same thing. I have this problem too. But what struck me was the contrast between the light tone of the post and the heaviness of these emails. These people were writing with intense frustration about what procrastination had done to their lives, about what this monkey had done to them. And I thought about this, and I said, well, if the procrastinator system works, then what's going on? Why are all these people in such a dark place? Well, turns out that there's 2 kinds of procrastination. Everything I've talked about today, the examples I've given, they all have deadlines. When there's deadlines, the effects of procrastination are contained to the short term because the panic monster gets involved. But there's a second kind of procrastination that happens in situations when there is no deadline. So if you want to have a career where you want to be a self-starter, something in the arts, something entrepreneurial, there's no deadlines on those things at first. Because nothing's happening at first, not until you've gone out and done the hard work to get some momentum, to get things going. There's also all kinds of important things outside of your career that don't involve any deadlines, like seeing your family, or exercising and taking care of your health, working on your relationship, or getting out of a relationship that isn't working. Now, if procrastinator's only mechanism of doing these hard things is the panic monster, that's a problem, because in all of these non-deadline situations, panic monster doesn't show up. He has nothing to wake up for. So the effects of procrastination, they're not contained. They just extend outward forever. Okay. And it's this long-term kind of procrastination that's much less visible and much less talked about than the funnier, short-term, deadline-based kind. It's usually suffered quietly and privately, and it can be the source of a huge amount of long-term unhappiness and regrets.
Actually, I was doing research on my own as well. There's quite a bit of researchers that are looking into procrastination, and they themselves actually do believe that when people do procrastinate a lot and like for long term, it really does give like a lot of long term like negative effects to their health. Like you said, happiness, long term unhappiness and regrets is one of them. Also like self-confidence issues and like things like that. I can't remember what the names are, I'm sorry, but they said that basically that it all has to do with like time management, and that seems to be the biggest role within procrastination and how people can't, I guess, just manage their time too well.
With long-term unhappiness and regrets. And I thought, that's why these people are emailing, and that's why they're in such a bad place. It's not that they're cramming for some project. It's that long-term procrastination has made them feel like a spectator at times in their own lives. The frustration was not that they couldn't achieve their dreams, it's that they weren't even able to start chasing them.
That's really sad.
I read these emails and I had a little bit of an epiphany that I don't think non-procrastinators exist.
Okay, so this is actually a fallacy, I believe, to myself at least, that when he says that I don't think that non-procrastinators exist, that's kind of a general, like, it's a hasty generalization. That's something where he just kind of like thinks, I mean, even though he has like previous knowledge, but like not everybody is considered a procrastinator. I mean, even if one person procrastinates once, that really doesn't make them a procrastinator. So yeah, that's kind of just like a fallacy. I'm surprised there's been a lack of them.
All of you are procrastinators.
Or maybe I'm just really bad at
Now, you
putting
might
them
not all
down.
be a mess.
It's scary.
We've already used a bunch of those. So I think we need to all take a long, hard look at that calendar. We need to think about what we're really procrastinating on, because everyone is procrastinating on something in life.
It's probably not wrong.
We need to stay aware of the instant gratification monkey. That's a job for all of us. And because there's not that many boxes on there, it's a job that should probably start today. Well, maybe not today, but you know.
And then even at the end, he's still using humor.
Sometime soon.
It's kind of just ties it all together. Yeah. So I guess just want to talk about how like there really wasn't that much like there wasn't that much logos with input into this video. It's more like it seemed just kind of like to understand how like somebody procrastinates and not like kind of like tips on how to like not procrastinate or anything like that. So yeah, but I feel like his TED Talk was more like leaning towards to like realize that you're procrastinating and that maybe you should realize that you shouldn't be procrastinating right now like I am, and that you should probably get to work. It's kind of like a call to like action, I guess you could say. Yeah, and I just want to say that like throughout the whole entire video, it was basically just pathos. Humor was just, I guess, the main like tone and theme of this whole video. It just kind of brought it all together and really kept a little audience. Oh my god, I need to do that. Audience engaged. And yeah, so that is the end of this TED Talk reaction video.